Are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Mr. Johnson trying to find Freddie and Margaret looking for Lil. They look all around on Bay Street, Baintown, Palmdale and over the hill. Cross the bridge to Paradise Island, but alas to no avail. So they all come to one conclusion, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Auntie Alice looking for Mary, and she cousin Leslie and Gail. She even fly to Miami, Coral Gable and Fort Lauderdale. But she still come to this conclusion, after using plane, car and sail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. Go! The Supreme Court now was in session. The defense done put on the roll. The prosecution come with the evidence, and the jury started to probe. Call out for the witness. A surprise was heard in the court when a lady shouted from the back bench, "Your Honor, he in jail or in Freeport." So if you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you're looking, searching and worrying, you'll find it's true without any fail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail. If you can't find your friends in Nassau, they're in Freeport or they're in jail.
Good yawning this morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It is Thursday, the 23rd of April, 2026, and you are on the clock with Erin, Raccoon Greene. We got to say thank you and a good morning to all the raccoons on the island that let us have some dilly. Although we know it's not, but it allowed us to get the dilly before the raccoon eat all the dilly. On another note, please water your mango trees. Please water your mango trees. The winds are, I think, a little stronger this year and a little later this year than normal. Your trees need water so they could develop sap to hold the mango. Last note, somebody reached out, I think, by the text line or on air asking about breadfruit. The breadfruit is on the park on Meadow Boulevard, opposite the Salvation Army Center there. They have breadfruit, and they have Jamaican star apples, I think, and they have dilly. That's what I've been seeing for the last few weeks, and I definitely saw breadfruit and dilly this morning. So if you're looking for your breadfruit, that's a place to start. We have so much to talk about this morning. I will beg your patience. Let me sort of unfold the show, and then we're going to open up the phone lines. Let me start by saying, yesterday I told you all that the St. Joseph's Parish Annual Bazaar and Raffle was happening in the month of May. The St. Joseph's Parish Annual Bazaar and Raffle date has been pushed back to Saturday the 13th of June. Saturday the 13th of June, right? Because of the election, they don't want to pull people in different directions. They want to give people an opportunity, enjoy a full day at the bazaar and participate in the raffle. So that's Saturday, the 13th of June, 2026, 12 noon to 10 p.m., St. Joseph's Church grounds. And you can call this number, 323-5993. That's 323-5993 for more information, or you can contact them on their social media platforms or via email. But they're open. You got questions, you need details, let them know. St. Joseph's Parish Annual Bazaar and Raffle. And I've extended an invitation for representatives to join me on the show to talk more about what we can expect at the bazaar. But y'all know I always have, not a hidden agenda, I can tell you what it is. I want to know about Bouncing Castle, Hoopla. Bouncing Castle and Hoopla, they my favorites. Okay, let's get into the show. Question, any word from the Royal Bahamas Police Force about the accident on what appeared to be a PLP motorcade? There's video snippets circulating on social media. I haven't torn today's paper up page by page, so I don't know if that story has hit the papers yet. But I don't know. There was definitely something happening. In the video, you hear someone saying, oh, he got hit by the bus. Right now, except for casual observation, there are few details, right? But there's no story. Here's why this is important to me. You should know by now. How the incident is handled is likely how it will be handled by the people involved if they were a part of the government. That should have been the first story. That should have been the first story. There was an incident involving on foot or on a bicycle, we're not sure, and a vehicle. And there's been no word about it. That's not a good way to start a political career. I want to fast forward to another quick story. I never thought I would see this. Bain seeks to seal court records in $90,000 dispute. This was in, I think, the Nassau Guardian. Coalition of Independents leader Lincoln Bain, who is seeking election in the upcoming general election, is attempting to have court proceedings in a long-running $90,000 civil dispute sealed, though an initial effort earlier this month failed after the request was made without a formal application. The Tribune understands the request was raised orally by attorney Tanya Wright, who appeared on Mr. Bain's behalf during a notice to attend examination hearing on April the 1st, 2026. According to court documents, the application seeks a sealing and non-disclosure order and asks that the claimant be required to attend all future hearings in person unless otherwise directed by the court or agreed by the parties. I guess I want to, what a way to start a political career. Because you campaigned on transparency, accountability, and on the hat, honesty, accountability, and transparency. Although you like to put on a hat, I don't know if that's the hat you were talking about. How do you begin this political journey from this location by seeking to have a court document or ruling sealed? I don't know. It concerns me. It concerns me. Oh, boy. I see you texted. We're going to get to that text. Another quick headline. Fare increase. The Ministry of Energy and Transport has advised that the government of the Bahamas has not agreed or authorized any increase to bus fares on the island of New Providence, and added there will be no change in bus fares on May the 4th, 2026. Again, the government of the Bahamas has not agreed or authorized any increase to bus fares on the island of New Providence. I was just reading the text. I just want to say to the text, that's why I try to read directly from articles that are in the paper, right? That's why I don't read from social media sites that don't have a name attached to the article or a name attached to the website itself, which we are going to get into in a moment. I have a list of questions leading into the election. Here's the segments I have for today. Unrealistic and unfulfillable promises made leading to this election, issues to consider leading to this election, and unanswered questions and agendas, and some general questions. Election. That's where I wanted to start. But I see today's Guardian editorial insulting our intelligence. And I wanted to read from a particular excerpt from it that I found shared online. In it, they discuss bots. I have to find it. But here's why. I have a series of articles from the last several years. I start with Bell. This election is going to be nasty. 20th of October, 2025, Nassau Guardian. With the political season ramping up, Minister of Housing and Urban Renewal Keith Bell said the 2026 general election will be, quote, nasty, close quotes, as he threw shots at the Free National Movement's last stint in office. The next article, PM decries dirty politics, 30th of April, 2025. PM Davis said yesterday he wants to see more women in Parliament, but expressed concern that the, quote, feral, close nature of Bahamian politics deters them from getting involved. Here's another headline. Pintard condemns Lincoln Baines, quote, unfortunate, close quotes, defamatory remarks. Nassau Tribune, 17th of October, 25. This is it here. It's getting dirty. Davis alleges FNM using fake social media ads to harm opposition chances. Nassau Tribune 2021. FNM Chairman Carl Culmer last night blasted opposition leader Brave Davis over allegations the governing party was behind, quote, fake, close quotes, anti-PLP ads on social media. Mr. Culmer hit back after Mr. Davis accused the FNM of, quote, dirty tricks, close quotes, aimed at harming the PLP's chances at the next election. Mr. Davis called a, quote, major, close quotes, press conference at which he said his party had tracked down 11 social media sites which he said were created by the FNM. Last night, Mr. Culmer said the PLP's leaders' claims were nonsense. Quote, the FNM doesn't engage in those types of politics, close quote, said Mr. Culmer. Today's Guardian editorial is very interesting. I'm going to find that excerpt that I want to read. I don't want to go, well, I don't think we have time to read the entire, but here we go. After Barnaby gave his excuses, the PLP compounded the chicanery with a clear and coordinated attempt to shift the narrative through the use of automated and poorly deployed bot accounts on our social media platforms. This is insulting to the intelligence of the Bahamian people. And that's why I wanted to go back in time a little bit and read some articles with references over the last term. I even have a quote from 2017. The headline, Davis heads to save party, Nassau Tribune, 10th of October, 2017. Interim Progressive Liberal Party leader Philip Brave Davis has vowed to, quote, cut the heads off, close quotes, anyone in the PLP who stands in the way of the party's growth, close quotes, growth and progress, close quotes. following a prayer breakfast on Saturday where he officially declared his candidacy for the party's leadership. Mr. Davis also responded to reports that former Prime Minister Perry Christie was not endorsing him as leader of the PLP. Quote, "I'm ignoring the chatter and focusing on getting the support of the stalwart councillors," close quotes, Mr. Davis told the Tribune. Now, I also find that interesting because we have this article from yesterday's media. F&M to remove Minnis from the party, quote, "in due course," close quotes. For me, one of the things that stands out right away is how similar the parties are, right? Like how they sort of behave in the same ways and do the same things. Free National Movement Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands said the party will move to remove former leader Dr. Hubert Minnis' course, but declined to say when, insisting the party has far more important things. What is most notable in that article is that it appears the FNM had a constitutional change recently that would mandate that anybody running, I guess, as an independent or against an FNM candidate gives up, right? Like it mandates that you can't be a member of the party if you are running against a candidate endorsed by the party, I guess, as an independent. I'm paraphrasing what I read in the article. For me, it just makes me think, like, is that similar to what happened to Alfred Sayers in his leadership race? Is it? There are just so many similarities between these people. Here's a text. Why are there so many unlicensed government vehicles throughout the country? Question is, are they insured? Well, texter, that is a question that is on my list of questions for today. Why so many unlicensed government vehicles, and what does that mean? What are the implications for insurance coverage if they are not properly licensed? Is the insurance attached to the vehicle still valid? It's a very important question. And I think a government automobile or vehicle audit should be added to the list of unanswered questions and agendas or issues to consider leading into the next general election. Thank you very much, texter. Here's another text. Erin, tell Dwayne Sands to leave Minnis alone. I want you to know that's how I felt. That's how I felt when I read it too, you know. Like, what's the big deal? And is this the statement that you want to make leading into this election? I guess they want to be brave too. But I don't know if it makes sense to behave in a way that people could infer you attacking him. Thank you, text. Good morning, Erin. Just imagine if the government split and then Minnis is the deciding factor in the House for who will be the government, LMAO. So they have to wait. What if it's similar to majority rule? And we need that one vote to decide, eh? For that alone, maybe Minnis need to win the seat. I see you, texter. So let me get to this list for today's conversation. The first segment, unrealistic and unfulfillable promises. I think we may have identified one from each party. From the COI, they started with this one, $100,000 a year to every citizen and an acre of crown land per citizen. I think that's an unrealistic and unfulfillable promise. And I think we could see that from the top, hey? FNM, 1,000 homes over 5 years. Now, on the surface, it sounds ridiculous, right? And then we had a conversation where C. Allen Johnson, it tried to expand the conversation and say, look, it's not that we don't have the capacity to build 1,000 homes every year. It's not that we don't have the technical skill that we could do it, but there are other factors involved. I want to say, first of all, can any administration build 1,000 homes or housing units, right? That's the next thing. Are we talking homes or housing units? Either way, can they build 1,000 every year in the face of the constant demand of the tourism sector for more beds to put heads in, right? And the declaration from the tourism sector that the space that Bahamians can enter is the Airbnb space. But now Bahamians are then left to decide, are they going to provide housing units for Bahamians, or are they going to provide housing units for the tourism product? And the third unrealistic and unfulfillable promise from the PLP, who say that they will eradicate BEC legacy debt over the course of the next term if they are elected. And someone told me, you know what, Erin? Just go and search the meaning of eradicate. Just search the meaning of eradicate to make sure you understand what they're saying. The Google told me eradicate means to destroy, remove, or get rid of something completely, often compared to pulling a plant. It is commonly used for eliminating diseases, pests, or social issues. Okay, to destroy, remove, or get rid of something completely. So not only are you going to bring the debt to zero, but you're going to make sure that it can't ever climb up above zero, right? Because that's what it will. Not only will you erase the debt that exists now, but you will create circumstances and conditions in which there will never be a debt. I'm just saying, either way you interpret eradicate, I think that's an unrealistic and unfulfillable promise. Just with my 40 years of conscious living, because before I was a children, I didn't know nothing. 40 years of conscious living. Further to that, that was before we learned that the 25-year contract has it been reduced to 2 years with Island Grid Company? Has it been reduced to 2 years? Further to that, I didn't have the chance to do the research myself, but if anybody could answer the question, remember the most recent time when the Prime Minister inferred or implied that the media was incompetent and stupid because they didn't know that all of the BPL-related contracts had been tabled and were available for public view, at least for the media. And then the minister responsible for energy and transport, Mrs. JoBeth Colby Davis, came out and said, yeah, well, but there was one, and we hadn't. Is that the Island Grid one? Is that the one that nobody has apologized for yet? Not for not tabling it in time, but for implying that the media was incompetent and stupid. All right, so that's the segment. Unrealistic and unfulfillable promises. Have you heard any unrealistic and unfulfillable promises? Please share them with me. Have you heard any promises that are just fantastic? Share them with me, and then let's see if they are realistic or unrealistic promises. We're going to open up the numbers to call: 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720, toll-free for Family Island listeners. The text line, powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Let's see, we got a caller on the line. Let's go to that caller before we go to unanswered questions and agendas. Good morning, caller.
You were saying that they was complaining about running a dirty campaign. I have a question. We ever had a clean campaign? Someone ever in the history of elections won off being clean or without throwing dirt or any type of slander?
I don't know.
That's even possible?
And I tell you what, I'm not old enough to have witnessed every one, but from what these guys say, you know, they always telling me, oh, Greene, you don't understand politics. politics is inherently nasty and dirty, right?
All right then. So that just by its saying, evidently you can't win without throwing some type of day.
Well, I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that, but that's what they are trying to convince us of, right? They're trying to convince us that there's no way to do this without nasty, while at the same time complaining about the nastiness in the politics. But here's the thing. I referenced yesterday Bishop Boyd's article. Anglican bishop calls for an end to, quote, dirty, close quotes, political campaigning. I don't know if the political parties themselves can complain about dirty campaigning. I don't understand how they could open up their mouths to do it.
My thing is only one way of not throwing dirt is not campaigning at all.
No, man. We are better than that. We are better than that, and we have to believe and then know that we are better than that. See, that's it. That's the little switch right there, you know. We have to know that we are better than that. We have to stop letting politicians convince us that that's the limit of who we could be. That's all.
I up an iron.
Yeah, they're the ones who are dumbing it down. They're the ones who are telling us this is all that it can be. And we're the ones who are constantly crying out for more. It has to be.
But guess what? Between me and you, right? Mm-hmm. You realize they only doing it because a lot of people are actually entertained by it?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think people are actually enthused at the dirt with the hair and the slander with the hair?
No.
They're being entertained by it?
No, I think that people, right, are in a state of psychological crisis, right? Where you see in your left hand, you see a problem that must be solved, but you know in your right hand, you don't have any of the tools to solve it. But everybody tells you that you got to solve that problem. People at some point that they give up because you cannot let that uncertainty kill you. So people seek out levity and humor and culture where they could find it. But those who volunteer to be in charge should lead us in the right direction. As opposed to that music video. Boy, I like the people in that video, but I don't like that song. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Greene. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Listen, now I've been listening to your show for the past 2-3 weeks, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's some things that Mr. Lincoln Bean was looking into.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't Mr. Lincoln Bean go and look into his case that he has in court with the lady with...
Okay, so I don't have a problem with him looking into the case. That's no problem. Just the question is, how do you campaign on transparency? And then it appears as if you're seeking to have a court ruling sealed from the public. That's all. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Ms. Greene. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
I'm okay. Oh,
Thank you for calling back.
Can I say hello to the Bahamians as a PLP?
But listen, make it as a poem. Make it as a poem. Make it witty, and let's not be demeaning anybody, okay?
Okay. Hello, Carl.
Thank you. You notice he hung up on himself? Yeah, hung up on himself. See, that is not nice, C. Allen. He said conks. He going to call the people conks. Yeah, he got the button on himself. He got, good morning, caller. Caller next. See, he got the button on himself. That is not appropriate. See, Alan, I'm going to send the bishop for you. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. You sent him the bill.
As well, eh?
Yeah. I think he'll pay. In fact, to be honest with you, if there's a time when if I had to challenge the United States government on something technical oriented, I would rather see Alan to be my lawyer.
On the team, I want him on the team if he's not.
Whipped them before. But anyway, that is what you call dissonance, cognitive, I don't know what you want to call it, intellectual dissonance when you want to hide something and show it at the same time. How do you do that?
I don't know. These guys are working on it, though.
They're working on it.
Yeah,
but you know what? You opened the show talking about an accident that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the labeling that was on the vehicle, I think a similar something happened in 2017 with a guy named.
Yeah. I read the article. The article didn't reference the name of a driver, which I thought was interesting considering all of the other commentary that was shared along with the article. Let us be very, very careful. Let us be careful. Now, Uncle, I'm going to try to get you my number off air so we could talk, but that's not an appropriate conversation for the public airwaves at this moment. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. You there? Okay, sorry. I missed you. Oh, boy, yeah, that's just, there's not sufficient information in the article which I am now familiar with, but don't have the title of the article in front of me to reference. Here's a text. Oh, I'll get to that text in a minute. Let's go to the phone line. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Are you there? I am sorry, caller, that we missed you. The name of the song that the woman called in and asked if we could play? I was looking for it last night in my notes, and I couldn't find it. But to the lady who called, I think the guy may be Ferguson, maybe the last name of the performer. But it was an interesting song titled, Madam, please call back and tell us the name of the song. Here's the text. Great show as usual. I have to be a conky conk to think we will get $100,000 if the COI get in. I must be stuck on stupid to believe that. Another texter says, I don't think Mr. Sands is the best choice for chairman of the FNM. Erin, the traffic dynamic is chaotic at best. There's a specific jitney driver plate here, blocking traffic, changing lanes haphazardly. Jitney number 161 bullying through traffic and using the eastern sidewalk on Blue Hill by Super Value to overtake a similar bus. Listen, it is hell out here for pedestrians. Y'all knocking them down every left. You parking your cars on the sidewalk where they supposed to walk and be safe. You're using the sidewalk. There are no lights in the road. Y'all think you could drive with your cell phone in your face? Here's another text. You say 100,000 and an acre of land for 400,000 Bahamians is unrealistic, but the government have given away more than 400,000 acres to foreigners and billions in contracts that have been unfulfilled over 52 years. Pike is one example, so who is lying? I don't know if Pike is an example, so who is lying? By the way, who don't want an acre of land and $100,000 from the COI? Please give it to me. Texter, man. Listen, we can get into, I get about 3 calls on the board. We're going to get into why $100,000 per year per person is unrealistic. And 1 acre of land to every Bahamian is unrealistic. I can tell you why. But let's go to the phone line. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yes. Miss Greene, thank you. How are you?
Hi, can you turn down your radio, please?
Yes, I saw you at the international.
I need you to turn down your radio, please.
It's all.
You have a significant echo.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw you.
You still there? Do me a favor, caller. Please call back. The numbers to call, 323-6232, 325-4359, and 242-300-5720. If you saw me at an international fair, I was trying to buy a foreign goat. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Erin.
Good morning. How you do?
Yeah, man, I have this question. Why is the street so dark in the night? I mean, I don't know if you've been on Farming Islands, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes when you come all the way, they have the lighted part. Then you go inside the area. You know, people when nobody lives, it's black and it's dark, right?
Yeah.
What's going on with our streets?
I'm not sure. Here's a starting point. When the street lights in my neighborhood went out, we were told it cost the constituency office $1,000 per pole to repair the light.
Aaron,
$1,000. Hold on, $1,000 per pole to repair the light. That don't make any sense.
Before I go, right, Aaron? Mm-hmm. Are you talking about main roads, right?
No, you're talking about JFK. We're talking about JFK. We're talking, I with you. We're talking about Myla Butler Highway where all the people are dying.
Farrington Road.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
That's your point, and I don't understand why it has not been addressed as a part of the campaigning to approach the election.
That's the whole thing. I believe if they could just find fake lights or what even just until last until after the election and then blow out, right?
Yeah.
Then but
we would have we could have pretended like you care.
Right, but to go into a general election in darkness and like the people can't we ain't used to having lights on the street that illuminated the streets, so you all just need to elect us, and then we can make sure your street go back to how it used to be when the streets were more illuminated. It's crazy.
Who's us? COI?
No, I'm talking about the country.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was just gonna say, I don't know if I've heard the COI address it substantively, but I will say this. I have not delved into the 100-day plan for immigration and plan for the other areas, and then the extended plans. I will say they have it though, right? They got the plans.
But agree on this right now. But see, whatever government becomes, whatever party becomes the government, right? It should be common sense because it's life-saving, right? To have, you see these people ride with these high beams on the light and people on the street, and you're wondering why they have to because they can't see the road.
Yeah, that's why. You can't see the road. And striping in the road makes it even more difficult to navigate the street safely.
Cat eyes and all of them things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have to be repaired. And every time there's an accident, right, the person who's held liable or responsible for the accident, their insurance company is supposed to pay for the repair of all the public infrastructure that was damaged in the accident.
Excellent, yeah.
At least that's what I believe it's supposed to be, caller. I can be honest with you.
Part of the insurance, it should be that should cover all damages would occur in an accident.
Yes, sir. And listen, I got 2 more calls, and then I want to go through this list of unanswered questions and agendas, like reducing the national debt and economic recovery. Let's go to the next caller, producer. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Erin. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
Doing good, my sister. Just wanted to piggyback on the last caller. Erin, we have spoken about the conditions on the roads, the lack of street lighting, the lack of cat eyes, the lack of, just infrastructure on the whole. We have talked about several roads that needs the immediate attention in order to protect the driving public. And yet today, those roads there has been no attention to these roads whatsoever. You remember a few weeks ago I talked about the roots growing under the street nearby Sacred Heart Church? Those roots are still there.
Yep.
There's no movement.
At all.
I talked about some time ago on the new highway going into the Bahamas where they want to build a new hospital, that highway there. They have their little islands in the middle of the road. There's no markings, no cat eyes, no signage, nothing. And the roads are dark, no street lights, nothing. And that has not even been addressed.
Yeah,
we talk about Pinewood Gardens Road. Main thoroughfare. You have islands in the middle of that road. There's no cat eyes. There's the signage that was there.
It's
gone. They knocked the signage down.
Yeah.
But if you aren't paying attention on that road at night with no street lights in those immediate areas, you're going to run up on those islands and potentially either damage your car, or kill yourself, or kill somebody else in the process. We talk about speed bumps. When in the world do you ever put speed bumps on a main thoroughfare? I don't care whether it's through a neighborhood or whatever. A main thoroughfare is supposed to be a clear road. They put in speed bumps.
They don't
white triangles, nothing.
But listen, they don't know how to enforce traffic in a way that reduces speed generally, right, the usage in particular areas. They don't know how to do it, so they put speed bump.
I understand. That's like me. That's like the government putting speed bumps on I-95.
Yeah.
That is a thoroughfare, you know. And we talk about these things over and over and over. Right now, there's that incident coming out of Laifaki, nearby. What's that that place? It's Laifaki, Old Fort Bay, coming up West Bay Street. They allowed. Well, I might as well say they allowed, but they allowed the constituents to put down speed bumps on that main thoroughfare, all the way down to the bend, to the bottom where Baltram Battle's house is. Really ridiculous.
Instead of investing the money to grade the road properly and build the road properly and reduce or mitigate the potential for flooding and the degradation of the road through rising sea levels, right? With all the money it takes to go live out there, all of the unofficial and informal barriers to access in that area, and they can't fix the road? Fix the road and put up the lights.
Erin, I don't know, but where we are today and where we is like night and day. We are supposed to be progressing. It don't seem as if we are truly progressing in the right way in this country.
Thank you. Listen,
it is frightening. But anyway, Erin, thanks for taking my call. I'll let the other persons call in. Thank you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. But an important policy notes, right? What is happening? And then we talk about traffic and commerce, right? And how are people disadvantaged by the way that the roads are laid out and the way the traffic is enforced. Let's go to the next caller. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Erin. Good morning, Bahamas.
Morning.
Yeah, this COI and Lincoln being situation here that now it's in the public domain,
It's a Lincoln. No, it's a Lincoln Bain situation, right? We talking about the case?
Yeah.
That's a Lincoln Bain situation. That ain't a COI situation.
Well, I'll put it to you like this then. He's the leader of a major party. And if another leader situation, it wouldn't have been just that individual situation. But it's a public figure. But my point is this, too. They're saying that they're different, right? But when I look at this situation, this whole situation, it seems to me that the individual is more bigger than the party or the causes that he represents. Because...
Hold on, listen, that's a very interesting point. Remember, we had these same discussions leading into the 2017 election and leading into the 2021 election. I think it was the 2017 with the question of, is Christie's brand bigger than the PLP? And is than the PLP brand, and is Minnes's brand, was it Minnes at the time, and Ingram, we questioned, bigger than the PLP's brand, right? I got you. Is Lincoln's brand bigger than the COI's brand? Because what I would have expected in a different party is, as soon as this became public and I had a seat, right? Like if I were Hiram Lewis, would I be publicly challenging for leadership of the party? Because not only do you not have a seat, you may have an issue before you that could impact people's attitudes and choices going into the election booth.
It really doesn't make much sense in this very important election that we're headed into. And I can say this,
Listen, Cleaver, we got to go. I'm so sorry, but I wanted to thank you. Take that point out of what you were saying, because I think those are conversations we need to continue to have. And we're going to try have some more on the other side of the break. It'll be texts and questions. Stay tuned. Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
5 years of PLP rule. Are you better off today? While you work, they've spent millions on taxpayer-funded trips, a government-funded luxury car, and handed out hundreds of millions in no-bid contracts. But for the rest of us, gas and groceries through the roof, VAT on bread basket items, healthcare that is broken, unaffordable, and out of reach. And it's not just your wallet. For 5 years, illegal immigrants have flooded our communities, putting excessive pressure on our schools, our housing, and our social services. As they flood in, Bahamian families fall behind. Under the F&M, there will be a change. The F&M has a plan to address the rising cost of living, secure our borders, protect Bahamians from illegal immigrants, and fix our health care. Because the F&M knows our job is to work for you and not the few. This message was paid for and authorized by the Free National Movement.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We came to celebrate IT. Celebrate IT. Send 3 money transfers for a chance to win indeed. Celebrate IT. Life is good, so we say la vie. Bon. No la parfait, Monty garçon. Celebrate IT with GK Money Services. Send 3 with GK Money and Western Union. And free for the rest of the year. 3 lucky customers will win. Follow us at GKMSBAA for more details. Promotion ends May 18th. Western Union.
North Andros, it's your time. The F&M Fire Forward Rally is coming to North Andros. We're coming to F&M headquarters on Queens Highway, Thursday, April 23rd at 8 p.m. Come here from Carlton Voleg, Sir Fent Road, Dr. Nicholas Fox, Vandia Stewart, your candidate Janice Oliver, and our next Prime Minister, Michael Pintard. North Andros, come and hear how the F&M will work for you. 8 p.m.
When it comes to hearts at Cleveland Clinic, you can't miss a beat. You seek the best care possible, work with the brightest minds, and leave no stone unturned to get to the heart of the matter. Because understanding is up to overcoming. For every heart in the world, see how we're advancing the future of heart care at Cleveland Clinic today.
The following is a paid political message.
Find it here. You're looking for truth. Find it here. Vote for MacGyver. She's here for you. See everybody in Kalani. Change is here. Hands in the air. See everybody in Kalani. Vote for MacGyver. She is a fighter.
That was a paid political message.
Put more money back in your pocket with a Fidelity debt consolidation loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity debt consolidation loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is the National Youth Guard program designed to train young people to help the Bahama Islands in times of disaster.
I decided to join to better serve my country as well as to better myself.
We train the help in search and rescue,
electrical, plumbing, and carpentry.
And things that they can actually expand on in their careers.
Young people who join the Youth Guard program discover a sense of identity, a sense of purpose, and a sense of patriotism.
This program isn't about only the individuals. It is about the country.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
driver was a deep sea diver.
Good morning and welcome back to On the Clock. Let us run through these questions. Okay, before we get going, I want to say condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of Mr. Peter Gowdy from the Chamber of Commerce. The Board of Directors, Management, and Staff of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation mourn the passing of our esteemed colleague, Mr. Peter Gowdy. As our longest-serving board member, Peter's commitment to the Chamber, the disabled community, Labor HR Division, and the Bahamian private sector was unmatched. We remain eternally grateful for his decades leadership and friendship. Stick a pin there. Good morning, caller. You got 30 seconds. How you doing?
Yeah, those lights, they forget to tell Sabas to order some lights when he was ordering them ringtone cameras. And they don't want you all to see the details of that.
Oh, no. I don't even know what a ringtail camera is. I thought you was going to tell me he ordered like 100,000 ringtail dove for when they win the election. I thought that's what you was going to say. To have them white-tailed deers, they're just invasive in Jamaica. I thought he's going to order, like every constituency get 2 white-tailed deer. White-tailed deer. Text, why would you say something so exciting? Here's a text. This government breaks so much ground until we get killed in potholes, especially on Soldier Road heading west of Nassau Village, down from Lowe's Wholesale. They have a flooding. See, this is it. We want to talk about the roads. We have to talk about the flooding because apparently the high water or the low-lying areas where the water comes up high, they're having difficulty maintaining the condition of the roads. Right? But these are the things they refuse to talk to us about. They said they're not speed bumps, they're sleeping policemen, according to the King's English. Don't forget before the COI challenges you. Oh boy. Let me practice. Let us practice right now with questions, unanswered questions in national debt and economic recovery. 2, Grand Lucayan and GBIA. 3, cannabis reform. These are not necessarily in order of importance. 4, what is the marijuana port deal? 5, where exactly is the $2 billion and $10 billion in investments Cooper was talking about? 6, are we prosecuting anyone for the NIGARD case? 7, this is like a Agatha Christie book title, Bell, the Chinese laborers and the hotel. 8, is there a final expenditure report for the Golden Jubilee? It's supposed to be a national celebration, but it looked like only the political class had fun. It's April. Where are the golden eggs? What's the plan for PMH? Will the fire service get new resources? Will the RBPF get less than lethal tools? If the PLP win a second term, how will they end the 2025-2026 fiscal year with a $75 million surplus? 14, what happened to the 60% ownership stake in Bahama Grid Company held by Island Grid Company? 15, has the baseball stadium been completed to international competition standards yet? 16, what is the status of the stadium repairs? 17, how long before Family Islands see real improvements in electricity and water services? 18, this is another Agatha Christie title, or maybe L. Ron Hubbard, FOIA and other magical, mythical tools for good governance. 19, still posed. People don't think that this is necessarily an important issue, but how do Bahamian contractors bid to participate in major national construction projects like the new hospital? How does a Bahamian contractor get to take part of that if they can't get licensed locally because there is no board? Are there Bahamian contractors that are able to participate because they are also licensed in another jurisdiction? I think that's why still no contractor board? 20, how did a 25-year contract turn into a 2-year contract? I really want to know before I start calling it PLP math. Will the PLP lose or gain any seats? Can Hiram Lewis maintain his seat for the COI? Will the COI win any seats? How many COI candidates have to pass the 16% threshold or get their $400 back for a strong showing? Can Pintard mobilize F&M voters or are they showing up for a party this time? Ask the PLP whether they plan to amend the law and allow people associated with gaming to be in cabinet. Do the PLP have to tell how they will eradicate the legacy debt in the next term before the election? Who is keeping their seat? Who is losing their seat? Did the FNM do to Minutes what the PLP did to Sears? Is any government going to legislate and enforce high water marks in public beach access? Why are you voting? What are you voting for? Is the Davis administration all style and no substance? That was the list of questions that I wanted to read for discussion during the show. We're going to pick those questions back up over the next few as we lead into the general election. You guys, thanks for the calls. Thanks for the texts. I apologize that I didn't get to all of them. Some of them, y'all just trying to get me in trouble. Oh, yes. Thank you, Texter. I think a very important note. There's this new technology called Meta glasses. And there are generic alternatives available in the market as we speak, the local market. Those glasses allow you to film, to record, among other advanced technological things. How do we ensure that no recording devices enter a voting booth? How do we do that now, knowing the new technology that exists amongst us, right? Thank you, Texter, for that text. Thank you, producer, for your patience. You guys, stay tuned, because Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Nuri is up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Bahamas.